Hey guys, so I made it to day 2 of my video log, and it's still week 10 of my lifestyle journey. I am still feeling very reflective right now. I'm feeling a little bit more somber than I was yesterday. I think yesterday I was still in the state of shock, trying to let it sink in. And now a day later, after stepping on the scale, I've definitely been in a very reflective mood as a result because it's definitely sunk in now. I cannot deny that number on the scale, and I think my reflections today are more or less about how I got to be there. How did I just all of a sudden one day wake up and after 2 months of dieting and eating really well, still weigh over 100 pounds of what my ideal weight should be? 100 pounds, you guys, that's an entire teenager. I have teenagers that are like 120 pounds, and that's basically essentially what I have been overweight before I started this journey. And it blows my mind that I am in this level of shock because I shouldn't have been. When I think about the things that I ate and I think about the things that I did to my body, I shouldn't be surprised. And as I've started to reflect, I've started to really pay attention and really think about, okay, well, what did I do? What did I eat? And I've realized on average, I consumed, just to give you guys an example, on average, I consumed 70 ounces. Yes, you heard me right. 70 ounces of Dr. Pepper a day. That was my, what I called, and I told everybody, this is my guilty pleasure. And this is my one thing. This is my one vice. Because again, I was in denial. It wasn't my one vice. It just was one of my many vices. The other vice I had was consistent sugar intake all the time. On a daily basis, I not only consumed 70 ounces of soda, but I also consumed Little Debbie snacks whenever I felt like it. We always had them in our house because we gave them in our kids' lunches for their treat, for their lunches. So I consumed those every day. In addition to that, I had chocolate stash that I kept on hand at all times that sometimes my kids would sneak into, but I pretty much ate them all myself. And also, in addition, if that's not bad enough, right? That's already pretty questionable. If that wasn't bad enough, I was also consuming at least 2 meals were spent out eating at McDonald's or other fast food places. 2 meals out of the 3 a day, and this was happening every day except for on Sunday. How can I be surprised that by treating myself this way and eating like this for who knows how long, probably the last year, I would say probably over the last year, how am I surprised that I all of a sudden gained this much weight and now I'm 100 pounds overweight? I'm amazed at how powerful denial is. And these are kind of the thoughts I've had recently, is that denial is such a powerful thing that keeps us from succeeding at life. I also was in denial to the level of I avoided mirrors. I only looked in the mirrors to put on my makeup or to brush my teeth or whatever was absolutely necessary. I also avoided pictures. My kids have been under strict instructions, and my husband also, not to take pictures of me. Like, is that fair? That's not fair. I think about that and I think that's absolutely insane. But these are the tactics I would use to avoid really looking at myself and really looking at what I was doing to myself. I think deep down I must have known, but I just didn't want to look at it and I didn't want to deal with it. And I thought if I just swept it under the rug, if I just ignored it, then it wouldn't exist. But it does exist. And it's affected my life in such a strong way. And accepting this reality has been really tough. And I feel like I'm still in a very reflective mode. I feel like I see that number that I saw on the scale just like in neon lights just going off on my head all the time, because I'm just like, Mandy, this is where you're at. How did you get here? And so I've been basically today, over the last 24 hours, I've basically just been in a very reflective mode, just reflecting, how did I get here? Because I really feel like if we don't do that, then we're going to end up continuing in our unhealthy behaviors. And I really want to stop. Another reason I think I got myself there, and the reason as to why I feel like I was making those choices, is because I am, for the first time in my life, probably ever, accepting that I have a problem and I have an addiction to sugar and also fast food. And so this is very difficult for me to accept. It's always very difficult to accept that you're out of control in any aspect of your life. And this has been a very somber realization for me. And even though I've been eating clean for 2.5 months, and I feel really good about that, and it's getting easier and easier every day, and I'm cooking with good things, and I'm continuing on that path, I still am blown away at the level that the denial that I had for myself and where I was at was really affecting me. So my hope moving forward is that I can take these reflections, that I can take these thoughts, that I can take this uncomfortable feeling of shame that I'm feeling right now, and just disappointment in myself. And I can use that to do better and to be better, and to allow myself the time and patience it's going to take to basically lose a human being. And that's a really tough realization, an entire human being. But I can do this, and I know I can do this, and I'm already on my way to doing this, but I have to remind myself that it took me years to get here. It's going to take me likely a couple years to get it off, and that's okay. And I deserve that time. I deserve that attention, and it's time to regain my power, and it's time to regain my life and stop living in the shadows of denial and regrets. It's time to live my life to the fullest and to move on and to take these uncomfortable feelings and let them inspire me to move forward. So those are my thoughts for today. We'll see you in a little bit.